let's go ahead and get into this with your Zen and Anna. And you were able to see my screen, yes?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Oh, a little more than we wanted there.
4, 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
It's a very interesting floor down there.
Capture
Oh yeah,
objective.
super interesting.
Peace be upon you.
Thank you.
What don't I love at this point?
Uh, I do not know. Our team is kind of spread out.
Yeah, I don't care about your team, I
Yeah.
care about you. This isn't a scrim, you don't know these people, you can't make them do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the only thing that's really of value that you could have done by now differently? I mean, I suppose you could have rolled
Oh,
out
I could
differently.
have given Diva or Sombra my, or I guess not Sombra,
You
but I
could
could
have
have
given
given
Sombra, but yeah.
Diva my Orb of Harmony since
Right.
she's the first one out.
Well, technically Sombra's the first one out. Right, but either one of them could have had the
Mm.
orb, and that's more value than your orb not being out. Like, it costs you literally nothing for that orb to be out right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's a small chance that they're going to take damage, it's a chance that they take damage right now.
Open your mind.
Okay. You do get to it, like, right there. That's good. Sure. Here we are.
Are your own worst enemy.
We set up here. Yeah, we are okay. Sure. That's a pretty long retreat away there. Is there like...
I think my plan was to go left, and then I decided to just re-peek the same angle.
Yeah, I think that's what your plan was too. I just don't ever really feel like, okay, that's fine. I'm glad you decided to ultimately repeat this. Maybe you felt like this was going to get pushed because it's Baby Diva and, you know, she has this magic habit of attracting enemies to her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what you felt like. But I really liked the crossfire that you had going here. You already have enough over here in terms of BAP. It's not like you need to be over here to heal people. So I
Mm-hmm.
much preferred you here. I'm glad that you ultimately stayed, though there was some downtime lost here. Because, like, you can be charging right-click here. You're saving some of your time and you're investing some of your time, but I don't need to be charging right-click here, right? I'd have rather have been back here faster after my right-click and just been left-clicking. No one's paying attention to you, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So I believe in you. I do. I'm not sure I'm staying here, though, right? Like, you see how you sort of go, hey, I'm rotating forward? Maybe I can live with that, because you decide that you want this as your new spot. But that you want this as your new spot, or you're still continuing to push them, like, yes, you're winning this fight hard, but this Zen can still be like, nah, I'm going to Discord Orb you, double headshot you, like, that's... Nah, maybe not. Maybe be like, if you're rotating to get to here, sure. If you're rotating to get to here, maybe. But that's not really what you're doing. You're just like, I want to be in the open.
Don't worry, I got this.
And then this is just sort of wrong, where you go into a right click here.
Yeah.
If you're going to go into a right click, that's totally fine with me. But I'm not opening this angle with 2 orbs charged, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to
You
continue.
want at least 4 or 5 before you.
Right. So if you decide, no, I'm going to start charging, well, you're going to keep charging before you pop up and can see enemies like this. Perfect.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, this was bad.
Oh, boy.
I remember this.
No kidding. Diva's like, what are you doing? Oh! Diva tried so hard to save you. Okay. We don't have to talk about this. I'm sure you realize what you did wrong.
Yeah.
Pain is an excellent teacher. Embrace tranquility.
So it's not a big deal, but I'm going to slow this down for you. What are the odds that someone steps out where your crosshair is and then stops?
Very low.
So what should your crosshair be like on these lottery throws?
Maybe moving a little more so that there's like a higher area, but
Moving how? Do you wave it right and left? Do you drag it to the right? Do you drag it to the left? Do you drag it up? Do you drag it down? How do you move it? Because you've released one orb now, and you're about to release more. Where should your mouse be moving?
I want to say to the right, but I can see there's no one there, so maybe to the left a little to check that open space.
You won't get it to the left in time to check that open space. Like, we slowed this down a ton, but those orbs come out pretty fast here, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's even at quarter speed, those orbs come out really fast. So you're not going to be like, let me go over there or something like that, or let me bring it up there. No. Your options are basically, if someone, do you want to drag this right or do you want to drag this left? Those are your real options, right?
Mm-hmm.
And generally what you're going to do is you're going to drag these right. There's a small narrow space for, no, I'm going to actually drag these left just a tiny bit, not into the wall, but just a little bit left because I opened a little to the right of the wall, and I'm going to catch someone who sort of comes out, takes damage, and then tries to retreat and get them with more headshots like that. Like, there's a small case for that, but the reality is what you're going to be thinking most of the time is if you're going to fire this lottery shot, you're going to do a slight drag to the right on it. Not like, you are... how do I want to do this? I can't really draw for you. Not like, my crosshair is here and now it's way over here, but my crosshair is here and I just drag it a little like that.
Okay.
Okay. If someone's actually on your screen, you might predict their movement differently, and that's fine. But when you're doing sort of spamming into a choke like this, that's mostly how you want to think about it. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. You realize your mistake and back off. That's good. That Discord orb definitely had the opportunity to be there, though, right? Like, we shouldn't have walked out here. There's just no one in front of you. Baby Diva wasn't a good enough of a wall. We see this. Totally fine that we're throwing a shot. That's good. But if we had time to throw a shot and we weren't right-clicking, we also had time to Discord, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it sure would be nice to have wall hacks against, I don't know, a Doomfist that feels like he could come from anywhere.
Oh yeah, that would be super nice.
Here we go. Cool. And you decide here that you want to reload. I can live with that. There's definitely the opportunity to have shot at something here, and you then go for that. Fine. Here you go for the reload. Never mind. Okay, I'll live.
EMP activated. EMP.
Sure. You okay?
I'll capture this
What we hope to win.
if I have to.
Securing the objective.
Okay. Okay, sure. So, probably okay. You're probably going to win this. Your team is probably just fine. But as we're dragging our crosshair across here, did we really not have the chance to Harmony Orb anybody?
We could have Harmony Orbed there.
Right. Okay. And it's not really like that's going to slow us down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd probably just not drop for this. Like, yes, I want the Doomfist elimination, but you have a bunch of people on here already. You can throw these out. I don't want to be like, oh, you're here and then you get punched into a wall, that sort of thing. Like, nah, this is probably good. I'm probably going to not take risks when we're up this much. Okay.
I'm securing the objective.
Where do we rotate to? Where do we rotate to? Where do we rotate to? Please not standing on point. Please not standing on point. Okay. Sure. Oh boy. Okay. Does this feel appropriate?
No.
Okay, so what
He
should
has
your...
his shift key he can use, and I can just go back to one of the high grounds instead.
Right, right. Like, it's possible you go up this way, keep your eyes locked here, and then back yourself up here, something like that. But really, when you guys were capping this point, you'd have rotated yourself up over to here or up over to here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Meteor strike.
Activating self-destruct.
How you feeling about this fight?
It's probably not one that I should have taken, or at least I should have gotten a bit more away from him in order to take it.
Let's get macro. How do you feel about this fight?
It's lost for the most part, I think.
Why?
They've put in, actually,
It's not.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm guessing I'm saying it's lost right now because we're actually wait, no, I have my ultimate. So yeah, wait.
Mm,
Let me think for a second. Sorry.
okay.
So they put in a lot of ults, and all they really did is they pushed us off that original choke.
Right.
But for the most part, other than our diva, everyone's still in good health.
Your BAP's
They
not
don't
in
have any
particularly good
more.
health, and you've used lamp. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Forgot about him. But other than our diva and BAP, we also have two ults to use. BAP's may be unusable if he gets uppercutted out of that.
Sure.
And then yeah, all they've really done is pushed us off high ground and used 3 ults, I think.
Right. They've used 3 ults. They've done some damage, gotten some cooldowns at you, and they've taken a positioning advantage. Don't get me wrong. But taking a positioning advantage against you sort of means that they take angles. Like they go, maybe you guys before had people over here, and you had the advantage, and they pushed you back, and now they're over here, and you guys are sort of all mostly squished around point. Well, mostly squished together kind of just makes your Transcendence more powerful, right?
Yeah.
So like, oh, they brought your team together for you, and they expended a bunch of resources, so it's going to be hard for them to get out. Aha! What they've actually done is activated your trap. Not really, but like, I'm not actually saying, oh, you're going to totally crush them now, but Transcendence has a pretty good chance of turning this fight, I'd say, because these guys did use a lot of cooldowns and ults to get to this point, right? And if you trans and don't lose anyone, because you do save these two with your trans, then suddenly the fight is like maybe 55-45 in your favor, I'd say.
Yeah.
So, sounds pretty good to me. Okay. Okay.
Meteor strike.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
Let them up.
Experience tranquility.
Game on. Routing power to forward barrier.
Okay, not a big deal, but you were totally in the middle of the point. And yes, you did ultimately Transcendence, but your Transcendence came in quite a bit later here. When we're using this Transcendence, we're now in a state where, okay, we've got a chance because, hey, you know, we have our lamp going, we had self-destruct happen, we've still potentially got a chance in this fight. But I'd argue that this was less good.
Yeah.
You also don't have a Discord out, which hurts my soul. But that's okay. And you finish your Transcendence in middle of the point, which is kind of the last place you want to do. You do frequently want to use that last half second of race car speed to try to get to somewhere not totally safe, but reasonably safe compared to where your Transcendence pulls you into positioning-wise. Oh, we're playing middle of the point again, I see. That is a lot of time to, I don't know, not be selfish. Like, oh, there's a Tracer on you. Is this Diva on you?
No, that diva's not on me.
Right.
Far away.
I would love for someone to demech that Diva, don't get me wrong. But I am I am discording this Tracer. I am 100%
Okay.
discording this Tracer. My Discord, while it's sort of while it is a tool for my whole team, it's a tool for me first. If I need to protect myself with it, I'm protecting myself with it.
Okay.
EMP activated.
Else want to try me?
Greetings.
I can't.
You know that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Howdy.
Beacon.
No problem. Should you be right-clicking again?
No, I should be throwing a Discord and a Harmony, and then probably left-clicking at this point.
I'm not convinced you can reach with a Discord yet. I actually think you're out of range, but yes, you
Okay.
should probably get your Harmony Orb out there, as well as start applying left clicks to Reinhardt. And why do I want you left-clicking rather than right-clicking right now?
Because that one orb coming out at a time is going to be much better on his shield and him and putting him in under pressure than a sudden burst every couple seconds.
Right, you do more total damage with your left click than you do charging up and firing right clicks, even if you charge up to 5. You put out more total damage, and yes, you also have more precision if it's not an all-in of, oops, I missed everything. Yep, you got it. You got it. If I was charging up that right click, is the Reinhardt my target? Or are those people that squishy that I can actually potentially one-shot that has kind of predictable movement? I know how that soldier's going to move, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So
It's going to be one of the squishies.
Right, okay. Oh boy. You drift back into the open. Okay, at least we're going for some cover there. Okay. Does this feel like a good place to be?
No, not at all.
Right, so we could have stayed over
have-
here. We could have rotated over here and been like, I'm peeking using this. It's weird that you like this so much. Go ahead.
I have like at most a twig of a tree for cover.
Hey.
So yeah.
We're good. We're good. We're doing. Maybe we'll hide in the bushes. No, okay.
Hmm.
To the iris.
The objective
Sure.
is now.
Okay, so. Okay. I'm not good with this. Why do I not like this?
The McCree is coming up on the left.
That's your oh, their McCree, you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And even if you don't know exactly what's going on over here, you know that you didn't just get 3 eliminations, right? There's still enemies around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to drift this far into the middle of the open, the middle of point, to try to finish off this right. Is your hog in any danger of not finishing off this Reinhardt?
No, not really.
Right, you pre-discorded him. If you want to leave your Discord orb on him and play from here and look for something over here or look for something over here, sure, whatever. But we're not drifting out into the open. We're too valuable. And if you get removed, your Discord orb goes away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a huge amount of value for your team that goes away. And, you know, your hog is going to win this whether he's discorded or not, but it's the sort of thing where, oh, you get removed, your Discord gets removed. Now maybe hog loses. Again, not true in this case. Oh.
To the objective. I require
We would drag that in the future.
Okay.
Okay, so you've decided that this is something that you want to spam. I'm okay with that. If you can shoot through this right now, someone else can shoot through it right now too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you've learned that this is a cute little angle that you sometimes get picks from, perfectly fine with me if that's what you've learned over time. But what you run into here is that means someone can shoot back through it. So until we've got those 4 orbs charged up, might as well be scooched just a little to the left and then scooch back in, even for this tiny little angle, right?
Yeah.
Within you.
I don't think I want to be here. Okay.
Get in here.
Okay. That's very gutsy. So here you go. You go like this, cool. And what should you do right now?
Fall back to the backup point, or at least down the staircase around the corner.
Right, you could at the very least play down here. If you really wanted to threaten this place, it sucks, but it would be a rotation back like this and then up like this. There's just no way you rotate back across the front like this. What should you do before you leave, before you reopen this angle, before any of that?
I don't know.
I'd like to get some orbs out. At the very least, I'm going to put a Harmony Orb on McCree or
okay.
Diva.
Yeah.
Probably before I get into this spamming here. Okay. There's a lot of no orbs out time that we've got going on here. Okay.
Experience tranquility.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Experience tranquility.
Yeah, you're answering enough. Some people can't be helped. Unfortunate. Okay. Okay. So this actually isn't a problem. You use this Transcendence to retreat reasonably well at the end, but then you just stop right here. Are you safe here?
No, I'm still in the middle of point with no cover.
You got it. You got it. So we'd have just kept backing up. And if we kept backing up, we'd have probably made it behind this or behind this in time, and we'd have then had a health pack to play with, and it would have been grand.
Get in here.
Adversity is an opportunity for change. Peace be upon you.
My ultimate is ready. Let's do this.
Darkness falls.
Okay, so here we are. Sure.
There is disquiet in your soul.
Double kill.
Destiny has
Where are we playing
drawn
from?
you to
Where
the
are we going?
objective.
I guess right here I could have hung around that corner and used that as cover, or I could have...
Potentially,
Again.
this might not feel safe because there's sort of been chaos going on up here, but even if you don't like it, if this doesn't feel safe, where are you rotating to? I don't mind if you... Go ahead.
I can rotate to the pillar to my left.
Sure.
How y'all doing?
Oh, ignore this part.
Okay. Ignored.
Peace be upon you.
Oh boy. That's just not the most comfortable place to be in general, and you've put yourself here a couple times where it's like, I don't really like this. I would much rather in general just rotate up on this side. But okay.
Okay.
And if I rotate up on this side and have lots of time, I might put myself over here instead. But there we go.
Get in there, Bob.
Adversity is an opportunity.
Come on, let's bring it together.
You weren't gonna go get your 6K? How disappointing.
Yeah. Decided it was probably not for the best.
Fully healed. Regen burst activated.
You're going to be okay.
What prompted the Ana swap here?
I just feel much more comfortable on Ana
Okay.
than on Zen. And so
Okay.
I felt like I wasn't contributing enough as a Zen.
Okay, that's fine. I was just curious if there was something that you weren't liking from the enemy comp or something, because they're not really giving you any reason to go Ana, but that's fine. No problem.
Step right up.
Get back in.
Okay, so here we are. A little bit questionable.
Get
today,
back
for
in.
sure. I'm just really not sure we ever had a need to get this close to the fight. Like, was there ever a time when you were feeling threatened back here?
No, there wasn't.
Right. So, like, maybe your nade gets a little bit easier because this is a tiny bit of an off angle, but not really. So, like, no, I'm pretty good here. I'll do my work from here. If my team starts to win and push them back, maybe I'll rotate up here. More likely, I'll rotate up here and drop nades from up here or something. But okay.
Regen up. Got you good and
Heal up.
I get that nade is for your diva, and you're trying to put it between the diva and the Winston, which is probably conceptually good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Heal up.
I'll let it be.
Leave on the way. Setting your balance.
Mm-hmm. Not a huge deal. But again, if you're a little further away, like, it's actually harder for him to walk into your, like, he has to walk more into your sight line here. You're sort of letting him take the flank here, and yes, you would love this flank to be better controlled, but the other thing that we get into is, while there isn't really fight happening to your right. Okay, you check right here. I don't know what that's about, but we're at 917.
regen up.
Kind of a check right there.
Good and
Heal up. Leave on the way. Setting your balance.
Yeah, that's not wild. It's been a fair amount of time at this point since you've looked right, but that's not wild in terms of your scoped in time here. It's really more a positioning thing.
I'll rest when the fighting is done.
It's Anu.
Okay.
Three, two, one. Round three. Capture the objective.
My shield's up.
Come and face me.
Sure.
Watching your back. The objective is now active.
Taking the objective. Join me in glory.
They're not gonna not be purple by the time the nade gets there. Is that the
Yeah.
hope? Okay. I'm like,
No, I'm pretty sure I saw the
Get
purple, and then I mainly just saw the low health, and I was like, this will help, just completely ignoring that.
I have your back.
I think I did the reload animation thing right there. I think. Although I'm not terribly sure.
Sorry, on the nade here?
On the sleep.
Oh yeah, let's look at that one more
Get
time.
healed.
Yeah, you did. You can shave it a tiny bit shorter, but yeah, you absolutely did. You cut out some of the reload animation with the sleep there. That was good.
Sweet.
I have your back.
Sure. We'll take some ult charge off them. That would be
It's
lovely.
going to be okay.
Trying. Good. It's life. Okay. So, too long on my sights. Probably swap up to that soldier faster. So you come out here, and you're trying to heal people. And you see that soldier, and is anyone really in immediate danger right here?
No, they're both basically full, and Hog is healing himself right now.
So I really need that soldier to leave before he starts shooting at me, because I won't be able to keep healing them if soldier shoots at me. So I want to flick up and put pressure on him, because if I shoot him first, it's much harder for him to stand and duel me, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Die, Peter. You're just wasted on the young.
Always leave yourself a back door.
I foresee great things,
Nano boost almost ready. Get back in the fight.
Okay.
See you later.
It's helping you control this, sure.
Watching your back.
Okay.
You're powered up.
Oh,
Get
this
in
was
there.
a bad. Way
Yeah.
too many ults.
Well,
Watching your back.
like, pick one. I get it. You're worried, so you go, hey, I'm worried. I see the pin coming in. I'm going to nade. Great. Sounds good to me. You went for the nade. It's a shame it didn't also get the other Reinhardt with the purple, but I know what you were trying for, and there was a very good real chance of that working. No problem. I don't need a nano to help keep my team up anymore, do I?
No, I don't.
So maybe I want it for like swing value or something, and I guess my Reinhardt is involved, but I can definitely see the EMP, and I'm going to be hesitant already to nano when we're EMPing if I'm not getting more than just increased swing value here. Turns out we're also tor
You're powered
bolting
up. Get in there.
and, whole hogging, because why wouldn't we do all of those things? And
Oh,
rallying,
yeah.
sure.
And you're out.
I'm on fire.
Probably going to be very conservative about peeking with the visor up before I can nade myself, but okay. No. Why did I say no?
It's much better.
Sombra needs that for when she comes back. And
Nope.
then you can... Oh?
I mean, Sombra might need that for when she comes back, but you've already won this fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you need your nade for anything?
Oh, no, I don't.
I want you to get the ult charge. Or we can let your Brig get the ult charge. Either way, but I definitely don't need to do this, which sadly doesn't do anything for her ult charge, and you're not going to get punished for having used your nade. You follow what I'm saying there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
Okay. And, you
Much
don't have to use your nade. I'm totally fine with you requesting a repair pack, and she won't get punished for using a pack there either. But
I need healing.
أنا هاخد بالي منك.
especially since you guys just emptied your ult bank.
Nerf this.
The pain. This will only hurt further. You're covered.
Good idea. Boy.
Damage.
So, like, I can handle this. The way I'm thinking about this, I need to be able to close the angle on Soldier at any time if he forces it open. And this probably isn't my way to do that. Back here, I can pretty easily control whether I force the angle closed. Back here, I can pretty easily control whether I force the angle closed on this Soldier. Now, maybe you just weren't worried because you knew your Sombra was over here, but Sombras melt. Sombras get pulled back to, you know, places that they have their translocator pretty easily. I mean, you know, that's not nothing. Don't get me wrong having her there, but, like, walking in here, where now you're more accessible to this team, where the Soldier could potentially come here, I don't particularly like it.
Okay.
Taking damage. It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Beautiful. Okay, you went for the nade. Fine.
The pain is double.
I'm good with this. I'm totally good with the nade that you go for here. But this is a, I don't know, it's not like 100% sleep, but this is a good 60-70% sleep, right?
Yeah.
And if you had your nade, sure, maybe you'd nade, but you don't. So, like, let's sleep him. I'm not terribly worried about some flanker showing up on you, and if they do, you'll have your nade back in 2 seconds, right? So I'd really rather get that power into the fight now, that ability power sent into the fight now, than just keep shooting him until my nade is back.
The pain is double kill.
I'm on fire,
Yes, I'm being picky.
and you'll get burned.
Okay.
Taking the objective.
See you later.
I'm on fire.
Okay. Again, probably would have self-naded myself rather than just try to exist at 100 HP there. Like, you sort of went, okay, we won this fight. What does self-nading yourself get you right now?
It will get me super close to my nano and back to full health.
Right. So I'm totally willing to do that. That would be good. Now you'd have nano. Now you definitely have nano. Maybe you don't need it, but hey. Okay. So, look at this, and what do you think my biggest concern is between both of your heroes?
I think most likely positioning.
What
Still.
specifically about positioning still?
Using cover to be able to close angles that I don't need to have open.
I'd say that's probably
Or-
my second biggest concern. And I know we talked about 2 positioning things before, and it's still 2 positioning things. It's probably, yeah, that's my second biggest concern. What's my biggest concern? Anna has a sniper rifle, and Zen uses projectiles that don't have fall-off damage. Where am I going with this?
I can sit back.
You
I
can
can relax.
You can be further away from fights. You can be further away from fights, casually spamming stuff into them. You can be further away from fights with your sniper rifle, where it's like, yeah, I'm good. Oh, you're coming up an angle. I'm gonna shoot you out long before you get here. Like, yeah, you can be further away. You don't need to be in places where Reinhardts find themselves near you. You don't need to be in places where McCrees walk up and flash you. Like, they should have had to go on a hike to let that happen. So I really do want you further away from fights still. Not at all situations at all times. There's never a reason to push up an angle, anything like that. But I want your default positioning to be further away from fights. You seem to get pulled in, to get pulled to the middle of the point, which then becomes a cover issue. And yes, you do in general still have a bit of a cover issue. So positioning is still, yes, your biggest category, but I want distance from fights as one thing. And then as a separate thing, I want, hey, tighter on cover. Both of those things are still very much on your upgrade path. Okay. You with me so far on those? Cool. So then we can get into some Zen specific stuff. And when it comes to your Zen, I would like you to do a bit better of a job of making sure that your orbs are out there, especially making sure that your Harmony Orb is out there. It should just be like sort of an automatic thing that you throw Harmony Orbs out there. Like, oh, my Harmony Orb isn't out. I heard one of my orbs come back. Do you know what the audio cue for your orbs returning sounds like?
No, I don't think I do.
Perfect. Let's teach you that. So, let me go back to you here.
Score.
Almost perfect. Okay, need to find one where it actually comes back to you rather than you getting eliminated.
Into the iris.
Okay, that's hard because you're forcing it yourself. We'll find a spot. I know we just had a spot because your Harmony Orb isn't out right here. So, where's your Harmony Orb out? Here it is.
I've got you in my sight.
Okay. It's a little hard to hear with all the noise that's going on, but we are going to play this through a few times. Man, there's a lot of noise going on there. Can I find a better situation for you?
My ultimate is
There, yes, but do you sort of hear that return sound happening? We're just gonna get one for you. It's not gonna be hard.
Kinda.
We can just go into a training game and show you real quick if we need to. Yeah, there's just a little too much background noise. It's pretty, like, I can hear it and I can hear it every time, but you're just not attuned to it yet. So
Okay.
what we're looking at there is there's actually a noise that your orbs make when they return to you, and I want you to hear that, and I want that to cause anxiety is too strong of a word, but be like, oh, I gotta get this back out.
Urgency to get it back out.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I want it to cause urgency to get it back out. And it's not like you have to go do something stupid to go get a Discord Orb out. This applies more to Harmony Orb than it does to Discord Orb, because I'd rather your Harmony Orb be on anybody than be on nobody. Obviously, you can upgrade your Harmony Orb, get it over on Flankers, Sombras, Tracers, McCree's on off angles, get it if, those aren't options on some of the divey tanks who trade a little bit more. Sure, you can do that. But I'd like there to be more of a sense of hearing that and then urgency to get it back out, because you do go for some things. Part of why we're not hearing a ton of the sound is because your orbs aren't always out, which means they're not always coming back. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But that's a thing that we'd look at for sure. And then if we get back to your Ana, there's still more that we could do with your nades. I mean, some of those nades are a little more on the defensive side than I'd like. We're not necessarily shifting up in our positioning to get the purples that I'd like, but part of that is because your initial positioning is kind of aggressive, but the enemies adjust for your aggressive positioning in some ways. So I'd really like you to pull your positioning back and then sort of rotate up into these positions with the nades. But I'd actually like the stable platform of defensive solid positioning first, which we've talked about. So this may feel like a repeat of last time. Sometimes that's going to happen because I can tell you those are still the biggest issues.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, comments, points you want to get into here?
I don't think anything came up during the lesson.
Okay. We do have some time left in your hour here, so if you'd like to do like the
sick.
first point or a few fights
Could
of the other
we-
map, sure.
Yeah, so on the other one, can we just skip to where it is on BAP? Because I
Sure.
think that's later on to attacking second point.
Yep, we can do that, but I need a code for it.
Oh yeah, I'm grabbing that right now.
Got it.
Sorry, just give me
No
a second.
No problem. I just wanted to make sure you didn't think you'd sent me both codes already.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Now entering the temple of Anubis.
Some Anubis.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, this one, I think I started on Ana, and then when we were attacking second point, I was like, I just think we'll benefit from a BAP much more than Ana, and so I swapped.
Okay. Let's take a look here. Sure, you're already attacking second point here.
You're powered up. Get in there.
So, and I think this is the swap.
No
Okay,
dying
so you're over on BAP. You have tanks that make sense with BAP. You have a Lucio, Reaper, Kree. You guys are on a pretty darn roll e-comp here. Sure. I'm good. I'm not scared of that monkey. That monkey's kind of stuck between you and your team right now. Like, yeah, he might go do stuff, whatever, but I'm pretty good melting him, at least until he turns to look this way. I'm not quite sure why we're so eager to close this angle. Yeah, your team's shattered. So what?
Get in here.
Okay, so unfortunate. There's a roof here. You just need to step back, charge it up a little higher, and try to go up there.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's okay.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
You're fully healed.
Okay. Okay. So we can look at this. Here you go for a heal shot, you go for another heal shot, you just sort of stare at the bubble, then you shoot at it once, then you go for a heal shot, heal shot, heal shot,
Get in here.
heal shot, lamp,
Oh, let's break it. Damn.
heal shot, heal shot. On the wraithed guy, I might point out. Heal shot, heal shot, heal shot, heal shot, shift when you have beat going on, so you definitely don't need this shift, right? You've got a ton of extra health.
Regen rest activated.
60 seconds.
Heal shot, heal shot, heal shot, heal shot. How's that reload look for you?
Terrible. It's 45 and 0.
Yeah, yeah. So how do we fix this? What went
I need
wrong
to
here?
be. I need to be putting out much more damage than I currently am.
Right. And how do you do that? Do you just go, okay, everyone's at full health, so I shoot at the enemy team?
No, you. I don't know how to explain it, but it's
Okay.
like when you have the opportunity to, without costing the life of someone else, you take a couple shots when you can.
Okay.
Or the one point where the monkey was pushing, Lucio can heal himself enough to keep him alive, so I should have pressured the monkey a little rather
Right.
than just giving him a couple extra health.
Right. Throwing a heal shot at Lucio, no problem. But after you throw a heal shot at Lucio, let's do some damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do you actually know how his weapon works in terms of mandatory delays, what his rate of fire is on his right click? I'm not asking for the exact time, but are you familiar with the concept of there is a rate of fire to his right clicks, and you can throw up a right click, and then there's a delay before you can throw out another right click, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So what you're actually looking to do is take advantage of that delay. It's how his weapon is specifically designed to get left clicks in those delays. You with me so
Okay.
far?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like you actually really like it when you get situations like, let's find you one. Oh, be happy, computer. Not you, the computer making unhappy noises at me. So you like situations like this where you just fired a heal shot. And I'd really like to, since I can't fire another heal shot, and since my team has a bajillion extra HP right now, even if my damage shot just goes into this Rhine barrier, because I can't wait to find another shot, that's totally fine with me. That's something,
Okay.
and it's actually not delaying my next heal shot at all. If I throw out one heal shot and immediately get out a left click, and then go back to another heal shot. So I want a shot at the barrier, or the Rhine, whatever, much more than I want a shot that was supposed to be at my Reinhardt, who has a bunch of extra HP right now.
Okay. And then that actually brought up a question. So when there is times where my team would be defending a choke, like a preferably tight one,
Mhm.
there'd be times where I'm just holding down both left and right click, hoping that the shots that I am getting off just randomly hit someone. Is that useful or
It's useful. It's not my favorite way to do it because it's sort of like, do
okay?
you click individually with Zen left clicks or do you hold down left click with him?
Most of the time I click individually.
Why do you do that?
Slightly more accurate, kinda.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
feels better to do.
It feels a little better to do. You actually think about each shot a little bit more closely. Same thing, I don't know if you ever play any Reaper, but you probably don't hold down left click in most situations. You probably
Mm-hmm.
are clicking each shot because it's sort of registering in your brain. You're actively flicking for your aim there. And there is a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of flick. Now, sometimes you're just shooting through your Reinhardt because you trust that there's a Reinhardt or a Winston or an Orisa or a Diva or something on the other side of him. You're just sort of generally aware of that, even if you don't know exactly where they are, and you just shoot through the mass that is your Reinhardt. But generally speaking, I'd like you to try to actually not just hold both down, but actually go for the individual left clicks and right clicks. But I want the left click to be rushed. I don't want you being like, let me line up and get the perfect left click and get headshots with this. No, I want to not cost myself any time between my right clicks in an ideal world. And the truth is,
Okay.
you can actually fit 2 left clicks. You can actually fit more than 2 left clicks. You can't fit a full 3, but you can fit 2 left clicks between your shots if you weren't still spending any time aiming. If you weren't spending any time flicking, aiming, any of that. And sometimes you will do that as you get better. But the basic pattern that I'd like you to look for is you're doing your right clicks to try to heal, and you're trying to get 1 left click that you're actually aiming, quickly aiming, but aiming between those. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that does.
And if there's not a shot available, that's fine. Go for your next right click. If no one's missing health, that's fine. Keep slamming down left clicks. But something like this,
Regen burst
cool.
activated.
I didn't need to do the shift. I could instead of using this time that I was shifting, as much as I see that plus in front of you that needs healing, I can shoot at that. Whose nemesis over there? A Roadhog? Who is
Yeah.
that? No, I
Looks
think
like a.
that's. I think that's an Ana. Whatever it is, it's Ana. I can pretty clearly shoot at that instead of hitting shift here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
So let's do that, and it's not causing me to be any slower to heal my Reaper. It's really not.
Okay.
And then you hop up here, and you open with a right click because you haven't used either of your weapons of abilities in a while, and there's no shot available before you go for another right click, and that's fine. That doesn't really bother me. But here, there's definitely something available before you go for your next right click, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the Zen.
Or the Ana. But yes.
Oh yeah.
All good.
Sorry, she was just.
She was hidden by your
She was
weapon. I get it.
mixed in.
Okay, I feel like we probably could have used that somewhere else, but hey. When exactly did we get
Regen
this?
burst activated.
Oh, up here? Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty good with a window up here. I don't know
Okay.
why we're dropping onto point at all, actually. Yeah, this is weird.
I think we dropped so that I could get into that corner and use it, even though that would be at a disadvantage for me.
Okay, I was gonna say this quarter's pretty good. Like you got cover against either side if you want it. You have high ground. You're above your team, where your flicks between them and the opponents are pretty easy. We like it up here a lot. But okay, maybe you're gonna play from over here instead. But this was preferable to us.
I thought you needed a help. Let them up.
Let off some steam. Setting out the welcome mat. Horns and
Okay.
Crusaders.
Complete.
Jump ahead here for a moment. Maybe we do one more
Ready.
fight in here.
5,
Cool.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Il faut commencer.
Turning up the heat.
Yeah, I'm not that scared of this Pharah. Like, I'm actually not that uncomfortable sitting back here and going, yeah, hey, Pharah, cool. Are you going to shoot at me? Step to the left, step to the right. You know, like, those are pretty long rockets for her that I can pretty actively dodge, and I'm getting to put pressure on her while I dodge her. If I don't like it, I can play a little bit more over here and do this, but still contribute some value, right? Like, I can shoot her when she's lower. I can shoot at the Rhine shield. I can shoot my Rhine, shoot at their Rhine, that sort of thing. Over here, all I can do is heal, right?
Yeah,
So like
that's all
Anna
I
could
can
get
do.
away with this, but Bap can't really get away with this, right? Because Anna can get away with this and then peek for a brief instant and spend a bunch of her power with a nade. Bap isn't about like a big burst of power offensively. He's about sort of a constant offense, which you're not getting out right now. So you're just losing out compared to if you were Anna. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Cool.
Loosen up.
Okay. I don't really think you need this. Lucio's healing you up just fine, but okay. You do expect your team to take some damage.
Good job. All better. For now.
And I think eventually I ended up swapping to the opposing side, like shop little thing, so that I could just heal and be protected.
Okay. Okay. That might make sense if there's like a Widow on the other team, things like that. I don't quite think there's enough there to justify it yet. I see the Hanzo. It's a threat, and you can respect the Hanzo if you want.
Time to let off some steam.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
you don't like the Hanzo. Fine. What this is going to come down to then is you keeping the angle close against the opponent until your teams are fighting, and they just can't afford to pay attention to you. Sure. Better weaving.
How about a little
Definitely don't need this shift.
Okay.
Like, it's not the end of the world. Your team is fighting. Your team is potentially going to get value out of it. But I'd really like you to have it for yourself. Okay. Beat him. I believe. I believe.
You want me? Hey. Amplification matrix ready.
There they are. Maximum tactic.
Oh, this is a battle.
I can see it now.
Light them up.
Yeah.
Shift! Shift!
Loosen up. You want me, sister?
I mean...
You can like see the regret maybe in the replay, but I instantly go, oh, I could have put that on the edge.
Yeah.
And then I like look down and I just see the fight's not even there.
Yep.
And so,
Yep.
I have beat one for you.
Enemy contact.
Maximum power.
Time to accelerate.
Sure. Yep.
Come on.
Unfortunate. You almost hit her. She's not going to get up here easily. Okay. So... Yes, you do react to this happening with a lamp. That is appropriate. If you see that your Lucio is beating, however, you don't.
okay.
You generally go, I'm going to lamp and I'm going to lamp immediately, but you're kind of slow with your lamp here. And what you're trying to do with your lamp is you're trying to be like, hey, A, maybe this will be enough. B, this will generally come out faster than Lucio's beat is going to. You know, he has to drop to the ground, do all that stuff, etc. you've sort of got cast time that you're looking against there, and you'd much rather you charge lamp faster than he charges beat. You're generally in a situation of going, I'm going to lamp first, and if he chooses to beat, fine, he can make that determination, but you have the easier cooldown, the faster recharge on it effectively, and while it won't always be enough, it gets out there pretty quick, not instantly quick, and that's what we're going to go with here. Here, you're just kind of slow.
Okay.
60 seconds.
Okay. Okay.
How about a little extra?
I believe.
Vide mal suyo!
30 seconds.
And then here, this was a bad
Reveal
decision.
the truth.
I switched to Mora to contest because she can get there faster, and then I ended up just throwing away my ult because we couldn't really contest.
Yep. Generally not worth to destroy your comp to go for a first point. Generally not, to the point of which you'll even see teams decide, no, we're not willing to use the comp that is the best chance of holding first because we don't want to get rolled on second type thing, like even to start the match off the gate. So like to swap into a last stage contest thing, generally not going to recommend that, but that's okay.
Okay.
On second, of course, you just have to, but... Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and call it here, though. Obviously, you can see from your clip management that there's room to do more. They weren't all as bad as your attack there. Your defense looked better. And there's also room to use your shifts better. Like, you tend to shift when you're like, oh, my team could use this. And remember, it doesn't actually heal your team for that much. It heals your team for 75 HP over time. Do you know how much hitting someone with a right-click does?
I think right-click does... I think it's 150.
I wish. It's 70.
Oh.
Hitting someone directly
Okay.
with a right click is 70. Do you know how much shifting for yourself heals you?
150.
Yeah. So shifting
That's
for
where
your
that
team,
number came from.
There you go. So shifting for your team is like, if they actually do take damage, it's a little bit of value, but I better be healing more than one person with it, or they better be like actively in combat where they're taking more damage or something, because it's just really not that powerful. On the other hand, it's very powerful for you. It makes it way harder for like a Tracer or a Sombra, someone like that to take you down, or someone Hanzo body shots you, you shift behind cover, and then you come back out a second or two later and you have health again. It's like, I can play again. Like, it's pretty darn powerful for you. Little less so for your team there. Obviously, we could talk a little bit more about window placement. We could talk a little bit more about, hey, why are you dropping off the high ground? Things like that. But those are what I'd start with on BAP there. So, any questions?
No, I think that was it. And then... Oh, wait, no.
Oh?
I remembered one like a minute ago. Now I can't.
Okay. I
Ah.
can give you a little bit. Not a problem.
Okay, I'm just gonna give up on that question until next time.
Okay.
So then could I view the shift kind of as Ana's nade when it comes to healing teammates with it? As like a emergency situation type of deal where it's like they need this health and it's...
No, because it's not
And
powerful enough. Ana's Nade actually
Okay.
delivers a meaningful amount of instant healing and makes your further healing stronger.
Okay.
BAP's shift is much more in the realm of, I'm with my team and we're rotating through, getting spammed, and we're taking damage, or we're actually pushing into the fight. Like, the truth is, I went to it. But this one wasn't actually really that bad of a shift. Where I didn't love it. You had full health, etc. But your team was going to actively fight, and probably get healed by this shift as it lasts and sort of ticks on your team. You sort of see what I'm
Okay.
saying? So like this sort of situation could be okay, but you usually shouldn't be close enough to your team to use it that way, if that makes sense, because you want to be a
Yeah,
bit
that
further
does.
back. The thing that makes more sense is, let's say you're rotating through here and your team is just getting spammed by Junkrat, by Hanzo, by Ashe, by Orisa, whatever, and you use your shift during the rotation, because you're probably going to take damage, your team is probably going to take damage, it's healing everyone, we'll take it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then for the shift, does it only heal the people that are like originally
Yes.
around you when you click it, or
Yes.
if someone else came in?
Only the people that are originally around you, and your range is smaller than you might think. Like, it would not reach
Okay.
Torb right now. It probably wouldn't even
Because
reach the point right now.
I think there's a point earlier in this match where I clicked it to help heal Torb,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just did nothing.
Yep.
And so.
Yep. That's
And
how it works.
then- I think that's it for the questions that I had.
No problem. No problem at all.
Sweet.
Then I'll go ahead and call this one